All right, Alec, Danny's our winner. Okay.
Danny is the winner. Danny is indeed. Yep.
Um, and we're here to reunite about it, as always.
We're reuniting. In fact, you could say it was only a couple minutes ago. I mean, it only feels like it.
Not much of a
So,
recap needed. We'll just go right into it.
yeah, let's do it.
Have click link in the description to see the reaction, and come back for a brief discussion afterwards. Okay.
Sounds good. There it is,
There you have it.
folks.
There's the reunion of Survivor Guatemala. That's the last episode we'll watch. Now, before
Yep.
we go on, I forgot that we didn't do an MVP for the finale.
We did not. That's a bad. It's a bad on my part. I mean,
Bad on my
MVP of the
part, too.
finale.
It,
Jeez.
it
I
usually ends
mean,
up being the winner, right? But
yeah,
is there
but I
anybody
don't think
else
that's. I don't think that's. I'm giving it to Rafe
to rave?
because he was. Yeah. Well, because he okay. So many blunders,
He did win the immunity
but
challenge. I didn't mention that.
Yeah, he did.
He
So
won one of them.
he won the first immunity challenge, and then guaranteed himself in top three, and then but just being wholesome, just being a wholesome contestant. I mean, yeah, it did end up being his coup de grace, but being too wholesome. But I appreciated it in the early goings when everyone's like, "Let's eat the chicken," that they told us straight up not to. And he was just like, "No, I feel like this is like disrespectful, kind of what we were. I just kind of learned." So yeah,
Mm.
gotta give it to him
All right.
because
And then who do
he's
you
a
give your
wholesome boy.
MVP to for the reunion?
For the reunion, for the reunion,
And then we'll
I
have to
think
tally it all up for the final reviews. See
yeah,
who
for
got the
the final
most.
reviews, I think for the reunion, I gotta give it up to. There wasn't anyone that like really overly stood out. That's the thing that's like I'm trying to think of like if there was anyone who severely stood out. Give it to Brandon. I think I'm gonna give it to Bobby John actually
To Bobby John
because
Drinkard.
the Bobby John because I don't know what the heck he was saying at that one point, but he
Mash
did that like
the
twice.
gas.
Yeah, you gotta smash the gas and just gotta
Okay.
give it. I don't know.
Bobby
I mean, like
John
I can't.
Drinkard.
Yeah, I can't give it to anyone else. I mean, like no one else was all that interesting. I mean, I guess I could give it to like Danny for being. No, you know what? We'll give it to Danny because she told that whole story about how she recognized Gary in so many different ways, and Gary was a good boy.
Okay.
And, yeah, we'll give it to her.
Throw a
I don't
bone
know.
to Danny, yeah.
Let's give a throw a bone to Danny. Yeah,
Um,
she deserves it. She deserves something after all this.
she only got $1 million.
Mm,
Poor girl.
yeah, I
All
know.
right. Um, any other highlights of the reunion? Interesting.
I'm just trying to think. Like Rafe still seemed pretty like, yeah, no, I did what I did what I could. I played the most wholesome game I could. They really highlighted Brandon for a hot minute. Judd was like, yeah, man, I'm just honest, I'm honest, man. I'm just honest, yo.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I'm just honest, man. Hey, look, it's the fat guy from Survivor. Uh, Amy had the exact same cadence saying, I'm gonna beat you down. Like the
Beat you
exact same
down.
exact same cadence. Which is pretty great. She's like runner up. She was pretty great too.
Blake,
Getting to see oh,
Blake's father,
oh,
gave him a call.
jeez. No, father-in-law, right?
Father-in-law, yes.
Or no, I guess they're not even married. It's his girlfriend, right?
Yes, his girlfriend's father then gave him a call.
So weird.
Can't believe my daughter's breasts got you voted off as Survivor.
Ha 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 ha. And everyone was like,
Hmm.
yeah, that was a high. That was a low light, is what that was. That was the nadir of like that was like the closest thing to a nadir that I've seen since Rosie O'Donnell showed up on stage for a reunion.
God, I just don't. I
Do you
don't.
remember that? I do.
Yeah, I do. She hosted the whole one, the whole reunion.
Yeah, it was the shortest reunion. I think it was like 25 minutes long.
Yeah, there's something about that phone call that's a little disturbing to me. And
Yeah.
the fact that like the people, like Blake's girlfriend, like her family's probably watching in support of Blake, and it's like, the main thing you hear him say is talking about how her boobs are too big.
Yeah,
It's
and
just
it's
weird.
like, oh, and
Everybody's gathered around the couch and watching it.
it's like, yeah, my girlfriend, oh, she knows how I feel about her, and like she loves me. She thought it was funny, and I was like,
She laughed. Yeah, I mean,
I'm like, I'm
I
like,
guess you deserve him, Dan. If that's what you like to hear, and like the little bit that you hear him mentioning you on a national TV show, it's
did,
criticizing your body. All
yeah,
right.
we talked about that, didn't we? I think we
Yeah.
talked about that in that episode about like at length actually about like that kind of like it's one thing to be like to like joke
Well,
about sex and stuff with your friends, but it's like another thing entirely to just be like to talk like that about like your significant other is just like really kind of gross. And
we thought for sure that he wouldn't have a girlfriend after the fact, but
yeah, I mean, I wouldn't expect to have one. Like I wouldn't talk about it. Just is like gross to
like,
me. Like there's something real weird about that whole situation. And then her dad was like, oh, like yucking it up, and I'm like, that's really super that's like creepy now. Like it's taken on a whole new level of creepy.
uh, yeah, yeah. I'm glad
What a fam.
we got that moment to cherish from this reunion.
Next up on Tarqaron, incest. Is it okay?
And it just keeps coming up. It keeps rearing its ugly head on this channel.
This- uh,
All right, so if you're new, every time at the end of the season, after we're done all the episodes, we're gonna go and have a full-on season review discussion, breaking down the season, ranking the winner, ranking the season, talking about it all, answering your questions, and you can come back probably next week to see that, and that'll be fun. It's always fun to get a nice
yeah.
retrospective, put some closure on that chapter, and move on. Look, now this will be our. We've done so many. Not only we've done 11 seasons of Survivor, but we've done 7 seasons of reactions to every episode.
7 seasons of reactions.
That's a lot.
And this is 11 reviews, season reviews, which is crazy.
Yeah.
So wow.
And now we will be taking a break after that though, for some time.
We will be.
And we'll be watching a season of Black Mirror before we go on to Survivor Panama, Exile Island. So, do you have any feelings about Survivor Panama? Is there anything?
I'm very intrigued about the solo kind of the solo thing. I don't like. I'm curious as to like what constitutes a banishment. I don't know if it's like because he made it sound like they'll be out there for days, and I'm like, how early is this determined? When is this brought up as a mechanic? Who is decided? Why is it decided? What disadvantages do they have other than the fact that they're living alone? There's all kinds of questions I have about it for sure, but I'm very intrigued by the idea. I like the idea of there being an exile island. I think that's kind of a cool, a neat thing. But the only thing I'm kind of like interested in, it's like, but it seems like there's another mechanic also at play in the game where they, despite the fact that they're being exiled, there's something that they can do while they're there to maybe get them ahead.
Hmm.
So I don't know. Are there multiple immunity idols in there or something? You know, like I don't know. I'm not sure what the deal is there, or maybe a prize. Maybe that's where the $1 million is. Who knows?
It's $1 million. Just like it's Rupert's $1 million that he won for being the fan favorite. It's so sort of way.
Yeah, the extra million. Yeah, what? I forgot about that.
Yeah, let's
I
not
forgot
forget
about
that
that.
Rupert won $1 million for being the fan favorite.
Yeah.
Yeah. A whole million.
That was kind of
like,
wild.
He just won.
He just won $1 million
season,
right
like,
there.
And he didn't have to play. Yeah. So yeah, that's something to look forward to for sure. It'll be fun to get back to. But hey, we'll have a little break.
Sure. Yeah.
A couple months. It's something. We're gonna be missing it. We're gonna be yearning to suckle on Blake's girlfriend's. I don't know.
That poor girl. That poor. I mean, she's a woman now. I mean, obviously now
She's a woman.
She's
I
like
think she was a
15.
woman,
She's like 15 years older than we are probably. But yeah.
Yeah, I wonder.
Wow.
Imagine they're actually like married and like full on family.
Yeah, and
I
you're
would put
just a couple of chuckleheads just cringing about it
I
over
would put
here.
so much money on that not being the case, but I'd be
Oh yeah.
interested if I'm
Oh,
wrong.
oh, totally. Yeah.
Maybe they just really do belong together, you know? It's just like,
Yeah, maybe she's like, I like your sick, weird jokes, and
hmm
I like my dad commenting on my body
yeah.
too.
I
It's
mean, I
great.
don't know. I think her dad might get to her first, but if you're not careful, Blake. Oh
And
God.
on that note,
Oh God.
thanks for
What have I
watching.
said?
Thanks for watching through our season of Survivor Guatemala. This isn't really. I mean, I'm not making any. I'm not making any
You
statements
don't
here.
make any
This isn't.
don't
I'm
make
not gonna
any
make.
definitive stances
I'm.
here.
I can't make any definitive statements, but this is overall a pretty good season. I really enjoyed it.
We had
So
a
I
good time.
enjoyed
We had a
watching it
good
with you.
time. Yeah.
We did, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Scumbag.
Scumbags.
All right. Well, until then, why don't you go check out the reunion of Survivor, the Amazon. All right.
Yeah, do it.
I don't even remember.
What a reunion that
But
was.
the reunions generally are like the least interesting thing to me. It's like you just have to really have some intrigue that makes me want to hear what they have to say. Like this one, there wasn't too much. It's just kind of like, let's hear from each of the people, see what's going on.
Yeah, there was no gate. There was no granola gate, or there was no.
Yeah, it's like, Judd, how do you feel about Margaret? It's like, it's all good, man. Oh, okay.
Okay.
All right. Well,
It's like, oh, okay.
that's
Jamie,
fine.
did you lose it out there? Yeah,
Yeah, I
I do.
did.
I mean, it goes both ways.
It goes both ways. I did, but he's a competitor too. It goes both
He's
ways.
a competitor.
No
It
one
goes
said you
both ways.
weren't, though.
What is? It's like, what the heck do you mean? It goes both ways. Yeah, you gotta lose your mind a little bit to be a tough competitor.
Yeah.
That's how it works.
So you get fun little moments, and there's the awkwardness of the live show, but overall, it's like it's hard for me to remember, like to pinpoint like a specific like the Amazon reunion. I couldn't tell you,
I couldn't tell you
almost
what
anything.
happened during it. Yeah.
and I don't know who was there. Yeah, I don't know who was the host at that point of the reunion show. It was probably just Jeff at that point. I think it was only
Jeff.
the first.
It was the first three.
First three.
Because the first two were that random guy, Jimmy or whatever his name
What
was.
his
I don't
name
know.
was, where he brought up the scientific polling. Yeah.
The scientific polling, and then Rosie O'Donnell randomly, because I guess she was a fan
Yeah.
of the show or something.
Yeah, and wrote in, and then Colby wrote in.
On a motorcycle.
Wrote her in on a motorcycle. Yeah.
And it was like,
It was
and then
a spectacle.
and then after that, ever since it's been Jeff. Thank God,
Thank
because
God.
he's just like, I mean, no offense to the first guy, but like Jeff just has a lot of charisma. He is like, and he's amazing. Can we just? I'll just take a moment here. I know we've already made a recommendation, but he is an amazing host. He really is. He really makes the some moments of the show. So, yeah. Shout out to Jeff Probst.
And he's the one, like, our one constant that we have throughout the seasons. Like, he's with us through every ride. So
I like how frank he can really get sometimes. It's really fun. It's nice.
Yeah.
He says sometimes just exactly what we're thinking. So
yeah, the first guy, he did have the polls, which was interesting. It's a completely different vibe because he was good. Well, it was the first season, so it was like really want to hear what the feedback is.
Yeah,
where he talked about basically people hated Richard Hatch and he won, and there was the whole discussion behind that. But
our scientific poll.
Anyway, that's it.
Yeah, that's it.
So come back next week for our review, breaking down the whole season, and all that. All right, thank you for watching. Subscribe to the channel. Subscribe to our channel.
Like do that, please.
Hit the notification bell and click the link in the description for our social media. All right. I hope you all get bit by a freaking crocodile.